So what I'm doing here is I'm getting the hydrogel out of the middle of this diaper. Obviously it's clean. And we just take all the innards out of this. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mix it together, and all that hydrogel is going to allow moisture retention for these seeds, because it went from spring to summer literally in 2 weeks. It went from 70 for the high to 70 being the low. Now I'm going to mix it. I'm going to put water in it, and that's what this is here. You can see the little clumps like this, and that's going to really hold water. Look inside here, start getting it wet, and that hydrogel just puffs up. Holds a lot of water in that stuff. We're going to mix this good and bring it over to the other side. Look at that size of that moth, see it? Look at that guy drinking right there. That's as big as a hummingbird. Look, there's my hand. That's how big it is. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Probably this whole length of my thumb. All right, buddy. Whew. I'm thirsty. That's what he is. So, we're getting a little bit of germination here, but not as much as I would like. So I am just putting some of this hydrogel over top and seeing if I really can't get some more of this to sprout, Quite a few things popped up, quite a few successes. Just want to go through it all and show you guys what I got growing on. Here we have gem glass corn. It's a mix of the Indian corn, basically all of them together kind of. It looks like basically a Skittles on a stick. I noticed the Indian corn really does well. Even these, I transplanted it. I transplanted a lot from here to here. Then I transplanted again when they were older. I was looking at the roots; they were very long. The plants themselves are doing incredible. I actually thought this was a hummingbird for a second, and no, that is a giant moth that is pollinating everything. Look at that thing; that's incredible. So you can see him; he's in there, and he's drinking the nectar of my lemons right now. The most success I've ever had out here in the desert has been with a watermelon. Even native tribes that are in the area used to grow watermelons that they got from the Spaniards, and it was something that really does well. The heat, they really like to germinate in that nice good heat we just had. A heat wave almost 100 degrees every day for many days. I gave it a good water once a day, and all of it just sprouted up. We're talking hundreds. I mean, it sprouted up more than I could even imagine. Yeah. We have Crimson Sweet, which is one of the best varieties that I found that really likes to sprout out here, really produces. All in all, does an amazing job. Crimson Sweet watermelons. That's all here on this side. Now this back end here, I have some sugar babies. So that's a new one for me this year. I'm gonna try those out. They're a little bit of a smaller watermelon, about the size of a soccer ball, and they really are supposed to be pretty sweet. Nice dark green rind. I haven't tried them, but I've seen them, and I want to give them a shot. Now, this in the back, this Congo watermelon, these bad boys, 2 foot long, 2 foot in diameter. I actually kept picking these last year too early because I would see a 25-pound watermelon and think it was ripe. No, these things go and go and go. Now this entire area underneath is a thick layer of just the richest compost I could make last year. I mean, it was just all types of manures and everything I could put in there, eggshells and table scraps, let it all kind of break down. And then I put some nice potting soil, and then a little bit of amendments on the very top here, some bone meal and whatnot. So as these grow, they're going to grow into that compost. They're going to grow into all that fertilizer I put in there. These things are heavy feeders. They're really just going to suck all of that nutrients out of this soil. And I really amended it hard, and it's doing an amazing job. Here we have over 15 feet of cantaloupe. Cantaloupes do amazing, I found, in the desert. They really do thrive in that heat. They just don't like the cold. So as long as you can keep them in a good heat. Now, for us out here, it may be a good 8 months I can actually keep these guys growing and producing. I was all the way until mid-November last year that I actually had my cantaloupes producing cantaloupes. It was an amazing experience. And I planted these as soon as I could, get these in the ground, get them germinated. These are the seeds I collected last year. And again, I have a trench, and why I like this so much is as I water it, as you almost see like the V, and all the water goes right down to the middle here and really helps it keep moist and helps it germinate. This really did an amazing job. All these seeds, every single one of these can produce 8 cantaloupes. Every one you see. Cantaloupes do amazing out here. I recommend for anybody. It's all a learning curve, you know. Everything that I'm doing out here is you learn by doing. So I do it, and then my successes and failures, I learn through it, I work through it, and I get an understanding of what I'm doing. Now, there are a lot of things that died, and there are a lot of things that grew really well. This is the Noran wheat. I'm learning how it works and how well it does. And honestly, in an open like this, it doesn't do as well in the trench or in a bowl where it just holds more water. There's a lot of water escapes, and it's kind of more of an open flat area, and it just kind of dries out. It doesn't do as well. There's not as much fertilizer here. There's a little more fertilizer over there. They're a little bigger. And then under the lemon, a lot of fertilizer, a lot more shade, you know, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, what can I do? How can I do this better? How can I keep improving? And well, it likes some shade, and it likes it where it's in a berm or something to hold the water. This is at an angle. It kind of sheet flows out a lot of the water. Doesn't really hold it, not as much fertilizer. So, it's a learning curve. The blueberries survive. They're doing okay. They're starting to get a little bit of new growth here. I'm trying to constantly water these guys. I have them shaded by the evening sun by the shipping container. I am constantly watering them. But like most things in the desert, the first year is critical to get things established, get a root system. Not everything makes it through the first year. These look good so far. We'll see how it goes. My grapes are doing incredible. I'm having more success than I even thought that was going to happen. It's to the point where I may have to even trim them even right now, just start cutting things and directing things. My goal is to have a stronger canopy on top to hold this. These go up and across, so there'll be fruit on the sides, fruit across the roof, just a whole shaded, just food forest just right in this thing. And that's my goal, and so far we're doing great. This whole entire section is shaded by this shipping container, and what that does is it blocks out all the evening sun, which out here you're starting to get noon, 2 o'clock till about 4 o'clock. It's 115 sometimes in the summer, and it will just dry out and kill things easily. My onions are doing pretty good. I was surprised at seeing how much growth that's going on right here. Then we have all of this in the back, all these little bits. This is more onions and more garlic. And this is the transplanted mint, which is kind of dying back here in the summer. It'll pop back up in the winter when it gets cooler again. It dies back in the summer, it's just a natural cycle. It just really gets roasted up, it dies back, and it looks almost like it's gone, and then it'll just bloom back out. And it's just a cycle that it does constantly. Here we have the cucumbers that are growing underneath. Now what this is gonna do is we're doing now layers. We're doing now basically, like, you know, there's a forest floor, the canopy, we're doing different levels to it. So what this is gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it around here, and it's gonna grow all down. I'm going to trim it from suffocating the plant and going up top, and let it go right here. So that way when I water it, it'll kind of work as a natural mulch, similar to the squash that I'm doing over there on the corn. Let's do an update right now of the living wall, my prickly pear. Let's go check it out. So the pencil cholla here here at the beginning has kind of dropped all the fruit. It's not really holding the fruit, which is kind of what I expected, but it does seem green. It does seem like it's doing really well. I am trying to water these. Even the pads themselves over here with these prickly pears can absorb a little bit of moisture. Some of them are getting a little bit with the sun here. And then others, let's find this one here. Even other ones are already producing flowers. So we'll see over time how the whole thing pans out. I may have to propagate from one pads to the others, and my plan is to go all the way around this fenced in area here, go all the way around also the other garden area over there, really having myself a wall. Now, all the way down here, some of these varieties are a little older, more established. This one here, you can really see the flower coming in here. This is gonna give us some fruit this year. This is just about to bloom. I'm pretty excited. You can already see this one doing it here as well. A lot of little flowers down the whole thing. I'm pretty excited. One of my favorite plants. This actually came with the property. If this was here, I just put the berm around it, and I water this every blue moon. It's a beautiful cactus. The colors of it, everything, the contrast. It's a really beautiful plant, and it has beautiful flowers. It does produce fruit, but I've never got the fruit in time that it was actually edible. I've got it prickly pear I do really well with, but I've never actually had any success with the barrel cactus. But this barrel cactus, one of my favorite, and it's probably doubled in size in the last 2 years. We learn by doing, so go out and do it. Like, comment, subscribe.